Now, a lot of us like Star Wars. Well, at least the majority of people that I know do like it, depending on what episode. But which way is the best order to watch this saga? We've got a 7th one on the way, but out of the 6 films we've got at the moment, where do you begin? Do you do release order, chronological order, or the Danny Trejo order? I'll get into that one later. Because to me, how you watch these films depends on one episode. Empire Strikes Back's ending. When, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Empire, which is hard to believe unless you're a child, the bombshell. No, I am your father. That one line changes all of Star Wars. That's what made Star Wars so big. It's a cinematic masterpiece, Empire. And it's one of the greatest twist endings in a movie ever. It's one of the big ones, really. It's like Psycho when you find out the woman's dead and it's actually Norman Bates dressed as a woman. Crazy, isn't it? But it's just that, isn't it? What do you do when it comes to Empire? Well, depending if you've seen Star Wars or not, depends on the order you're watching it. If you've got someone, say, a young sibling, cousin, basically if you're watching it with a child, I would recommend to watch it 4, 5 and 6, then go on to 1, 2 and 3. That would be kind of the best way to bring someone into Star Wars who's never seen it before and who is basically a hermit hiding away from pop culture. Unless it's a child, then they wouldn't really know about it. So that would be the best way to introduce them. If you've seen it already, it's obviously you go through the prequels and then the originals. Depending if you like the prequels though. I myself, I'm not a huge fan on them. There's a few aspects that were okay, but mainly due to acting and writing and direction, I'm not too fussed on them. But they're there. There's some good bits. What are you going to do about it? Anyway, when I mentioned the Danny Trejo order, aka the Machete order, basically what you do is you take the original Star Wars trilogy. You watch 4, and then you watch 5. And as soon as 5 has ended, you go on to 2, and then 3. This helps as a bit of backstory as what happened to the Empire. How it led on to Vader being Luke's father. The Clone Wars, all this backstory. And then you go on to 6. So you go from Revenge to Return. From Sith to Jedi. Because at the beginning of Jedi, you're not too sure what Luke's doing. He seems to be riding a line, especially at the beginning of the movie. He force chokes these pigmen. And I think, ooh, that's a bit dark. That shouldn't really be happening. But he does. So it kind of adds to the whole thing. Is Luke going to be good by the end of the movie? Or is he going to turn to the dark side like his father's? Is history going to repeat itself? And it's kind of a good way to do the Star Wars Saga. Why did I miss out one? Because according to the main info on the Machete order, it's just padding. It's unnecessary padding. Most of the characters from episode 1 don't either appear or get mentioned in episode 2 and 3, and it's just unnecessary. Qui-Gon Jinn's dead, doesn't get mentioned till Sith, doesn't really need to be brought up. Maul, he never gets brought up again unless you watch the cartoon series, and that old Chancellor, can't remember his name. All I know is he was Zod. He never gets mentioned again. And is it really necessary? Not really. Unless you want to do the whole whack, you can try and squeeze it in, but it's not really necessary for the Machete order. So there is 3 orders of ways to watch Star Wars. Either release order, chronological, or Machete. And each one's quite good to kind of sit down and watch, depending on who you're watching it with and how are you watching it. It's good for a bit of a film marathon as well. Being in to just dive in and watch these movies. You got 4 that establishes the characters, 5 gets into their darkest moment, 2 and 3 give you the backstory of what actually happened, what caused the Empire and the fall of the Jedi, and then 6 resolves everything. That is until 7, of course, comes out. So you got everything really with the Machete order, and hey, I've yet to try it, and I'm actually looking forward to giving it a shot, even though I'm not a huge fan of the prequels. it could be a fun little order of doing it. Anyway, I've been the Movie Maniac, and why not try this order out? Which order do you like doing the best? Release, chronological, or machete? Leave comments below, and I'll see you next time.